In this video, I will talk about mathematics curriculum in the intermediate grades. The mathematics curriculum framework of the Philippines put critical thinking and problem-solving skills as the goals of learning and teaching mathematics. This lesson will give you a deeper understanding of this curriculum that is currently implemented in the country. The figure presents the framework of the mathematics curriculum in the Philippines. As you can see, critical thinking and problem solving are the goals across the levels in each topic of the mathematics contents. The important principles in teaching and learning mathematics, such as reflective learning, active and student-centered teaching or learning, communications allowing the learners to articulate their understanding or express their thoughts, and making connections. These are important that prior knowledge or prior learning or attaining prerequisite skills is always considered. Moreover, mathematics in the context of real-life situations is always the main consideration in designing mathematics activities. Mathematics education in the Philippines contains 5 general contents. So we have numbers and number sense, measurement, geometry, patterns and algebra, and statistics and probability. These general contents are the same across levels, from kinder to grade 10. So we have here the key stage standards for the intermediate grades for grades 4 to 6. So we have here, at the end of grade 6, the learner demonstrates understanding and appreciation of the key concepts and skills involving numbers and number sense, which involves whole numbers, number theory, fractions, decimals, ratio and proportion, percent, and integers. Under measurement, we have time, speed, perimeter, circumference, and area of solid or space figures, temperature, and meter reading. For geometry, we have parallel and perpendicular lines, angles, triangles, quadrilaterals, polygons, circles, and solid figures. For patterns and algebra, we have continuous and repeating patterns, number sentences, sequences, and simple equations. And lastly, for statistics and probability, we have bar graphs, line graphs, and pie graphs, simple experiment, and experimental probability. So as applied, using appropriate technology in critical thinking, problem solving, reasoning, communicating, making connections, representations, and decisions in real life. For better understanding, let us look at the standards per grade of the intermediate levels. So we have here the standards for grade 4. The learner demonstrates understanding and appreciation of key concepts and skills involving numbers and number sense. We have whole numbers up to 100,000, multiplication and division of whole numbers, order of operations, factors and multiples, addition and subtraction of fractions, and basic concepts of decimal including money. For geometry, we have lines, angles, triangles, and quadrilaterals. For patterns and algebra, we have continuous and repeating patterns and number sentences. For measurement, we have time, perimeter, area, and volume. And for statistics and probability, we have tables, bar graphs, and simple experiments. as applied using appropriate technology in critical thinking, problem solving, reasoning, communicating, making connections, representations, and decisions in real life. Next will be the standards for grade 5. The learner demonstrates understanding and appreciation of key concepts and skills involving numbers and number sense. We have whole numbers up to 10 million, order of operations, factors and multiples, fractions and decimals including money, ratio and proportion, and percent. For geometry, we have polygons, circles, and solid figures. For patterns and algebra, we have sequence and number sentences. For measurement, we have time, circumference, area, volume, and temperature. And for statistics and probability, we have tables, line graphs, and experimental probability. As applied, using appropriate technology in critical thinking, problem solving, reasoning, communicating, making connections, representations, and decisions in real life. And lastly, we have the standards for grade 6. The learner demonstrates understanding and appreciation of key concepts and skills involving numbers and number sense. We have divisibility, order of operations, fractions and decimals including money, ratio and proportion, percent, and integers. For geometry, we have plane and solid figures. Under patterns and algebra, we have sequence, expression, and equation. For measurement, we have rate, speed, area, surface area, volume, and meter reading. And for statistics and probability, we have tables, pie graphs, and experimental and theoretical probability. As applied, using appropriate technology in critical thinking, problem solving, reasoning, communicating, making connections, representations, and decisions in real life. Notice that there is a spiraling progression design in the curriculum standards. Spiral progression ensures seamless integration of content standards. Each content and topic is a piece of the overall curricular landscape. Hence, learning each mathematics content is fundamental because each is related to the previous content and a prerequisite to the next higher one. Moreover, a misconception of concept and skills means a gap or discord in the whole mathematics curriculum. So we have here an example of K-12 mathematics curriculum. The mathematics curriculum is not simply a list of competencies. It is logically arranged and organized. For the teacher's reference, the content standards, the performance standards, and the learning competencies are explicitly stated. So let us try to look at the example. So the content standards are broad descriptions of what the students should learn. The performance standards is the outline what the students should be able to do once the concepts and skills are taught. For the learning competencies, these are logically arranged objectives that must be aimed in classroom instruction for the students to achieve the required content and performance standards. So that is the mathematics curriculum in the intermediate grades. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have learned something.